lot of girls realize this, but the moment that man stops paying for you is the moment he stops liking you. Let's talk about it. It was like weekend 2 of this guy and I hanging out, and I will never forget, we are in the line of Chick-fil-A and he like lets me order first, but he's like keeping the distance, so I just pulled out my debit card and paid for my meal. And that's when I realized that the energy had shifted. Prior to that, he was paying for all of our meals, he was pursuing me, he was like trying to impress me and date me. In that moment of me paying for my Chick-fil-A, I felt like his homie.
Give me some money. Give me some money.
So if I'm understanding you correctly, the way you feel about a man is tied directly to how much money he's willing to spend on you. Him not buying you fast food chicken is somehow akin to his unwillingness to pursue you anymore, which just goes to show that in order for a modern woman to feel desired, you need to pay for an expensive dinner. But the second you make her pay for her own fried chicken sandwich, well then that is what's crossing the line. The love is gone and the fate is sealed and the relationship was just never meant to be. Oh, woe is the party that paid $15 for a sandwich, fries, and a drink that is mostly ice. Thine life is truly one of pity and sorrow. But I hate to point out the obvious here, but by complaining that Chad made you pay for your own junk food, you're making an implication. You're sitting there and effectively saying that your affection is for sale. That the more a man spends money on you, the more willing you are to give off that affection. And if your interest comes with a price tag, then that makes you one thing and one thing alone, sister.
That's why I praise the Lord for prostitutes.
Let's discuss 3 controversial things I do in my long-distance relationship that work for me. Little background, my boyfriend lives in Athens, Greece. I live in New Jersey. We've been long-distance our entire relationship, 2 years. The first and probably most controversial for long-distance relationships, we have no end date in sight. We're both young, both of our careers are flourishing in our own cities, so we really just have no plans for either of us to move. But I will add that we are both in unique situations where we both have extremely flexible jobs, so we are able to see each other for extended periods of time. Eventually, yes, someone will move, but for right now, we just don't really talk about it because we're not really worried about it.
Alright, let me get this straight here. You got a young Chad of a quote-unquote boyfriend who's making good money in a flourishing career and living in one of the biggest vacation destinations for modern women. Yeah, say no more, sister. He's cheating on you. And I don't see how he couldn't be. He's out there living the high life, and what do you expect him to say to all of these chicks who are throwing themselves at him? You expect him to just go, you know what? I'm sorry, we can't bone. I got a girlfriend back in New Jersey. Yeah, that's not happening, sister. He's getting into all sorts of strange, and he keeps you as an option because you're willing to fly out to him. And that's why this thing of yours is bound to implode. There's no end date and no plan to take things to the next level, which is probably a good thing when you think about it. I've watched it for 30 seconds and I already want to relocate to the other side of the planet just to get away from you.
The next controversial thing we do is talking and FaceTiming all the time. I'm telling this man my every thought, every little thing that's happening to me during the day, because that is the only thing I'm holding on to some sense of normalcy. I see people post all the time, only talk when you have something to say. That feels like a punishment. Neither of us want to do that. Neither of us do that. Okay, but I draw the line at falling asleep on FaceTime. We are in a 7-hour time difference. I don't want to hear your snoring while I'm making dinner, and vice versa.
So you're FaceTiming this guy and constantly talking his ear off about everything just so you can have a sense of normalcy, yet at the same time, you're totally cool with not having some form of an end date to close in the distance? Yeah, I'm calling it. She wants an end date and he doesn't. She wants to make things official and he's not willing to give up his lifestyle of being Chadicus, the Greek god of thought smashing. She wants to move to Greece and he wants her as far away from his stud life as possible. Just think about it, woman. This guy is having the time of his life right now, and you're recording yourself putting on your war paint while talking about his snoring in your bathroom in New freaking Jersey. You have yet to even mention if this guy is reciprocating anything, because he's most likely not. But you still want to dilute yourself into thinking whatever the hell you have will work, even though no effort has been made to make that happen. I give you about 3 months until you get a paragraph and a half apology and all blocking on social media. That's a generous estimate, but I'm a generous kind of guy.
And the last one is that we do not do FaceTime dates, long distance dates. That is the number one tip I see online about long distance relationships. It doesn't work for us. We don't like it. It feels forced. There are so many other ways to make your significant other feel special in a long distance relationship. Not trying to yuck anyone's yum. If it works for you, that's amazing. For us, just not our thing. Those are my big 3. Every relationship is different. This might work for you. This might not. And let me know if you want some more long distance relationship videos.
Woman, the reason why you're not doing FaceTime dates is because he's too busy having real dates with real women who are better than you in every conceivable way. I don't know how many other ways I can tell you this. Long distance relationships are doomed to fail at a bare minimum of 8 times out of 10. Ask anybody who's been in one and they'll tell you. Proximity breeds familiarity, while a lack of which leads to someone getting familiar with someone else's bed. Even if you two have legitimate feelings for each other, loneliness will kick in, and the desperation for human physical contact will get too strong. Now, you might have had a chance to make this work if the two of you had a plan and actually stuck to it, but even then, you still have to put in a gargantuan amount of effort to make that happen. And I think it's a safe assumption that's not happening, judging from your emotionless voice and that empty void you call your own face. The idea that love knows no bounds and distance can't keep people apart is for the birds, and that is a harsh lesson you'll be forced to learn as you're crying your eyes out in New Jersey.
It's not you, it's me. No, actually, it's not me. It is you.
I'm really tired of short incels, not to be confused with short kings. I'm dating a guy who's 6'2" as a 5' woman. I've been attacked and called a hypocrite for doing so because apparently, being 5 foot, I'm obligated to reject my boyfriend and reserve myself for the shorter men that have it rough in the dating world. Let me clear something up for those that believe this. If a tall guy pursues me and I want to date him, I am under zero obligation to sacrifice my opportunity to do so because I owe opportunities to shorter men. That's literally dating communism. It's an equity agenda. Acknowledging that height is a factor to be sympathetic to in dating is completely different from insisting that people make sacrifices to make your life easier. I really didn't think that I'd ever have to explain that, but here we are.
Nobody cares what you think.
You again. I never thought I'd have to explain to you that internet comments are not an attack. They're just words from trolls designed to get under your skin to the point where you have to angrily make a video to lash out at them as you complain about not owing short guys your time or energy, even though that's exactly what you're doing when you feed the frickin' trolls. And your only comeback is to call them incels, which in its own right is just an incredibly lazy and uninspired insult. The incel insult is practically the same thing that 1980s teen sex comedies would make as an entire plot point. It's lazy, and all it does is make you look like you're proudly proclaiming that you're letting someone play with your muck portal of abandoned hope. That's not to say you are not entitled to your preferences. You totally are, but that's not the issue here. You claim that you want to help men be successful in dating, but then you immediately play the incel card, which is not a good look for you, sister. And all it does is open you up for schmucks like me to make fun of you on the internet while pointing out your blatant brand of hypocrisy. You're welcome.
Ridiculous.
This segment was brought to you thanks to the Bounty Board over on Patreon, and I wanted to give a personal shout out to Adam Fox for supporting the channel and becoming the newest member of the Bounty Board. Thank you so much for your support, sir. All hail! And if you're interested in supporting the channel, then check out the Bounty Board yourself, where I've just added a new perk. So now for $5 a month, you get a permanent producer credit on the Bounty Board, a personal shout out on the show, and access to not only exclusive videos you won't find anywhere else, but also access to the Best Movies Around compilation, which covers every single one of the best movies around since I started this channel, and will grow as the show moves along and I cover more movies. So if you're interested in supporting the channel, the link is in the pinned comment down below. Thank you so much for your support, gentlemen and gents. Now let's get back to the show. What do you say?
Talk dating as a single mom. When I first started dating, it was really unexpected. Like, I obviously wasn't like looking for anything, and it didn't turn into anything to happen out of nowhere. So I was like, okay, have fun. This is fun. I'm not gonna play games. I'm a mother. I don't have time for this. I don't need to play hard to get because I just am hard to get because I'm busy. I'm a mom. Like, I don't have time to just be available. So I decide I'm just gonna not worry about texting back too fast, or I don't know, you know, all the little things that you do to like seem interesting. But I guess I just really learned just be yourself is not enough. I'm not trying to say that you need to be toxic, because obviously not. Like, I'm very much against that for many reasons, but like that just wasn't fun for me. I would have had a lot more fun if I played a little bit, and it's literally not selfish because the other party would have enjoyed that more too. The psychology of dating is real. I guess I learned that men are just men, and they will always be men.
Day and night she talks. Each word more useless than the next.
And you're a single mother, and single mothers will always be single mothers, but that goes without saying. You can't complain about the quality of men out there when at the same time complaining about being busy with your single mom life. You obviously aren't that busy if you're finding time to bone other dudes, because that's all this is about. You're not dating. Dating implies that you're moving into something serious. But the only definition for serious with you is finding a man that not only wants to sleep with you, but pay for the privilege of by financially supporting you and the child that doesn't share his DNA. And there isn't a self-respecting man out there who's willing to do that. Therefore, you're not dating, you're just porking and then getting confused when men don't find that to be enough to take you seriously, which isn't surprising. Nobody really is interested in a woman who can barely speak coherent English.
This was my mentality, so I think that's why it became my reality. So if you are any single woman, or if you're a single mother and you believe that people won't want you because you're a single mother, then maybe that will be your experience. But I decided to look at it like, now that I'm a mother, it's giving mature, it's giving classy, it's giving grown woman, and the only people that can date me are grown men, real men. I can't say that was quite the vibes of the dates I've been on, but in a way, yes. I have so much tea. Anyway, the moral of my story here is know your worth, create boundaries, know what you will and will not accept. And whether you are a mom or not, that's when dating is gonna be the best for you. Single moms, know that you now have the ability to manifest and attract the perfect partner for you, because you know exactly what perfect partner is not. If you're not a mom and you're just a single woman, then live by this. You know that you don't need anything from a man, like they're just supposed to make your life better in whatever that way is for you. My time is valuable, and you've got to be real clear about why you're worth mine.
No offense, but it sounds like some commie gobbledygook.
Oh, joy. Looks like we're going there again. Lady, just because you're a mother doesn't mean a thing. If that was the case, every single teen mother on this earth would be wise sages who took responsibility for their actions. Just because you let a guy tap it raw doesn't mean that you're mature. Quite the opposite, I'm afraid. You prove maturity with your actions, not with copious amounts of word salad. Challenging a man's masculinity for not wanting to be financially liable for your terrible life choices doesn't change a thing. Real men don't bother with that, because that would be simping, and real men don't simp. Unlike you, they're actually producing something of worth to society, and your feelings don't change that. It's the real men who judge your value and your worth on the dating market, and judging from this nonsense rant, that means practically nothing. And I'm fairly certain the general consensus is fairly obvious when it comes to your lack of a value.
Well, I had to learn this in a very dramatic way. That is exactly the mindset you need to have. Manifest, attract the perfect partner for you. But yeah, just because you are a mother doesn't mean you don't want or need excitement and passion. Like, you're a catch. You are so much more attractive than you were before maturing. Like, literally, period. Okay, you've matured. Why would no one want you because you've matured? Like, you're better, smarter, hotter. So yeah, I hope you single moms, single women, actually anyone watching this video, the more you learn about yourself and the world around you, the more beautiful you get. Okay? Love you.
Man, you are one pathetic loser. No offense.
Well, the reason why men don't want mature women, as you so less than eloquently put it, is because you're not mature. You have the maturity of a 15-year-old who just got her driving permit suspended because she wrapped her father's Alfa Romeo around a telephone pole. You view men as objects put on this earth to bring you pleasure, happiness, and to complete your life. And you think your illegitimate spawn somehow entitles you to that. I'm not putting words into your mouth either. You're literally saying that you deserve a perfect man because you are a single mom, and you're in no position to be making any demands or expectations of anything. It doesn't work that way, sweetheart. Men are the ones who determine your value and whether or not you're worthy of a relationship. And judging from your gibberish, that'll happen the day the Surgeon General recommends undercooked pork for its health benefits. Figure that's a proper metaphor, because there are precious few things you know about life, and porking is the only thing you have to offer, and even then, baby, you are still not worth the time. And that's gonna do it for today's video, gentlemen and gents. As always, if you find that my particular brand of comedy is bringing you to the brink of laughter, then why don't you scroll on down and click that like and subscribe button. Ring the notification bell, leave a couple of comments, and make sure to share this video so we can give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. Once again, just another thank you to the bounty board over on Patreon. You guys are truly worthy of the applause of the intergalactic space god Flo Flard. All hail! Thanks again, guys, and thank you for checking out the new video, and until next time, peace out, homies.